Hello everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Today I will be streaming day 2 of the Asia server finals, the Apex server final stages of the first league. So basically taking you to my garage, waiting for the room invite, and then I'll have a look with you at the matches that we've got coming and how they've gone before. So just going there, readying up so that we can't miss the battle, just in case I get hopelessly sidetracked by showing you this. Basically, yesterday we saw P1 get knocked out. Risk is still in the lower bracket, but they did fight their way back up a little bit. So today we are going to start off with GRS versus GV, and whoever loses that will have to face Risk. So those are the two matches that we have today. Like I said, GRS versus GV. If my game works with me, that would be grand. And last time that we see in the round robins here, GRS lost to G4 and G4 won with a 4-1. So that's going to be interesting to see because again, and I've mentioned this on the EU server as well, what happens in the round robins is not necessarily how it's going to go in the final stage. It's always different. Some house cleaning before we actually get started. If you are from the Apex server and you want to get rewards, make sure that you watch through the portal. You need to make sure that you are logged in. You need to make sure that you accepted your cookies. And you need to make sure to click away the pop-up that will happen when the battles start, like in 1 minute when you hear this. Basically at 1 PM CEST, that is sharp. The timers will start and you have to click away the pop-up, otherwise it's not going to work for you. So keep that in mind as well. There are 8 crates to be had. The time is cut off sharp at 2 hours and 10 minutes into the stream, at least into the battle. So that would be 10 past 3 PM my time. And I will make sure to stream at least for the amount of times that you need to get all the rewards, at least all the time that the portal allows you to get rewards, because after 3:10 PM it literally just cuts off and there's nothing I can do about that. The timers on the portal are not in my control, unfortunately. I would happily stream for longer if it would mean that people would get the rewards more properly, but as that is not the case, basically that is out of my hands. But I will stream for all the time that the timers on the portal are active, so be sure about that. Now, let's go focus on some matches. We've got GRS completely readied up with 2 IS-7s, an AMX-50B, 2 LTs and 2 60TPs. GV is still readying up, still needs a player as well. There we go. And basically now we wait. Just over 2 minutes left to go before we go into the match. We are starting it off on Normandy. Haven't seen Normandy much this season, so it will be interesting to see how they perform on that. I actually have to say I like the way that Wargaming has sort of chosen the maps for the stages and everything. Most of the maps that you see in the finals haven't been played on all that much before. And I think that's a very good thing, because you don't want to give the enemy a lot of information about how you play on this map and with what lineup and all of that. And yes, tactics only work for as long as no one is spotted. Basically, you start off something, you have a certain plan, but once people get spotted, the game changes quite literally. GV, in the meantime, almost ready with 3 IS-7s, 2 LTs, potentially a VK90 and a mouse. Still having very questionable names. Oh, it's a concept 1B, not a VK. Mutsu just said maybe you should start using TDs instead of light tanks, since teams are using more and more light tanks nowadays. No. Because the thing is that a TD can spawn everywhere, and it would also, with the heavy meta that we've got, I could still very easily make a heavy tank spawn in the light spawn, the ultimate spawn, so I don't want to do that. Basically, it will be easier for a light to work its way back to the med spawn than the other way around. So yeah. 35 seconds left to go. And then we will get our first game of this evening. Well, evening for you, afternoon for me. And the timer should start shortly, but like I said, be sure that you need to click away that pop-up, because otherwise the timers are not going to work for you. There's also a weird glitch where it sort of like loses seconds. No idea how, no idea why. I did report it to Wargaming. Haven't heard back about from them yet, so I'm not sure if it's fixed or not. But here we go. Let's have a look. Normandy, like I said, not a map we've seen all that much yet. My first time watching GRS as well, so that's going to be fun. Thing is, I've missed a lot of the stages. I've not streamed NA at all. I've barely streamed Asia. I mainly took the time off of work to stream Asia because no one was giving Asia love. And I felt that they needed reward streams as well. There goes the plane into the crash shed that was already there. Base C is being kept. Arrivederci is now going to get base D. He is going to be joined, but still GV will have a slight point advantage there. Base A is being kept. Beck's deciding to not try and decap that. Instead, we have GV pushing on the other side. 2564 is pulling back. Shots are being fired, but taking quite a few hits there. We have 2564 that is pulling back further. Basically, they are trying to steal base D, but overall, GV has lost quite a bit of HP trying to push into GRS's ranks. And I think that's mainly like GRS was prepared for this. They kind of expected this to happen. Oof, that's an important bounce there. Nick still alive, but that's probably not going to last long. There he goes, that's the first gun gone. But gets taken out straight after. Rome losing a lot of HP there. But we have GRS now focusing on XX and Doha. Bex has lost a lot of HP. Rome almost gone. Doha definitely the preferred target here. He's still alive. There goes Bex. So far, everyone from GRS is still alive. This was definitely a push that did not work out as GV expected or thought. There goes impronounceable lots of letters. There goes Rome. And now, basically, with each gone, it is GRS's first game. And that was like, this was very clever thinking by GRS. They only lost one guy on the job. And overall it was sort of like baiting them, not letting them know that they had that many tanks stacked in their spawn. Very cleverly done. Again though, like the first game that we had yesterday, whoever loses this matchup isn't out just yet. They are up against Risk next. And that will determine who else is going to be in the grand finals. GRS now ready with 3 IS-7s, 1 LT in AMX 50B and 2 60Ps. And on the other side we see potentially, well there we go, 3 IS-7s, 2 LTs, a VK72 and a mouse. A bit more armor now for GV. 50 seconds until we go into the second game on Normandy. I always wonder like how this feels, because you know, like if you win this, you're in the grand final, so you will place either 1 or 2 in the tournament as a total. At the same time, you also know that if you lose, it's not over yet, so you'd still have a chance. Let's see, 24 seconds. And then we get to go. The VK has been changed for a 60p. But I doubt that GV will push like that again. Someone just said the camera is faster than the plane. That is true. That's also, like, I find those things kind of funny because I fully get that they're not going to make the graphics so that there's like no damaged area and then the plane comes in. At the same time, I do find it kind of funny, like the crash site is right there and then the plane comes. It's almost like it's meant to be that way. See, I'll give you a proper show. There he comes. And to be fair, it's like really well done. Arrivederci in Rome, again capping the bases closest to their spawn. We have XX and Putt waiting at base A. 64 deciding to pull back, does take a hit for it though. There we go, my camera was stuck somehow, I don't know, probably flew into a plane or something. Both teams have pretty much like equal HP, equal points, equal bases. Arrivederci now at the back there. Base B now sneakily being kept. I doubt he's going to get away with that. And he doesn't really mean to. He's mainly just having a look. And they know that there's someone more. Because XX is over there. They probably saw the sandbags fall. So they know that there's someone there. And right now the teams are just holding. Backs taking a shot but not panning it. And we have 2564 going around the bunker. Not sure where he's heading to. Probably just avoid getting spotted at this stage. Both teams seem fairly dug in. Rome is taking a sniping position at the back there. We see Mon doing that similarly. Base A is now being capped though. And that did not decap it. So they're probably going to get that base. And he does. And that's... oof. That's given GV an advantage here. But, okay, getting out of there. XX still behind him. Shots being fired, no damage being done there yet. So right now it is really just a bit of stalemate gaming. They're facing off against one another. But they're not actually really doing anything. 2564 has made his way back. They're not competing for base A though. Shots are being fired into the spawn on the other side. Towards where Arrivederci no longer is. And we now have Arrivederci going alongside the beach. Putt is going back up. Arrivederci is called back apparently. We're nearing 700 points. Something will have to happen. Shots are being fired. Lots of letters gets hit there. Base A is now being stolen by Arrivederci, who is as of yet unspotted. Back's taking quite a few hits there. And there we go. Arrivederci does still shoot. We now have the AMX there to help him. They are pushing and they're going after Nick. 7710 is taken out first though. And now they have to be careful. They basically have 3 tanks dealing with 1 tank now, and that can be dangerous. There goes needs smacking. Putt is set on fire. Lots of ladders gets taken out. There goes Putt. Bax manages to get out of there alive. Base B is being kept right now. GV has a big point advantage. They also have a gun advantage. We're at 840 points. Arrivederci is not looking too healthy. That is going to be an issue as well, because as soon as Itch reloads there, that's going to be the end of him. But it's actually, yeah, it is him that gets him. 923 points. This is kind of like overestimation from GRS, but also the fact that GRS was focusing on different targets. There goes Bax. There goes Monmon. We're at 985 points. There we go. One more kill and GV has the game. Magi manages to survive, but barely, barely, barely. Good game. In this case, GV absorbing the push from GRS. And I'm not entirely certain why GRS pushed like that. And even if they did, why they basically split their forces like they did. Because if you drop down with 3 tanks to deal with 1 tank, it means your the rest of your team is 2 guns down on the upper levels. And it takes longer to go back to the upper levels than it does to go down like that. So I think that was sort of just like misjudgment there. GRS now ready with 4 IS-7s, 2 T-57 heavies, haven't seen those yet, and 1 LT versus 3 IS-7s, 1 LT, 60TP, sorry, 2 LTs, 60TP and a mouse. We are heading off to Oasis Bombs, very different map. First time seeing the T-57 heavy in a tour in a very, very long time. And don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic tank, but I am curious what GRS is going to do with them. Because the thing is, like, a lot of the fantastic tanks work very properly in pub battles, but not so much in tours. In this case, I think T-57 Heavy might have issues because it's fairly easy to shoot in the face. But we'll see. For all we know, they can be absolutely phenomenal. 10 seconds left to go before we go into the third game of this best of 7. Again, no real passages yet, not for this specific matchup, but also not for the tour yet, because it is a double elimination. Let's see. Oh, that's a pretty camo. And here we go. We have GRS focusing entirely on the A and B side, whereas GV is splitting their forces more. Magi has been spotted already though, as has needs a smacking. And they are going to cap that base fast. If they get it though, we do see some hits being taken. Base C will be kept, base B and A will be kept. And that will give GRS a nice advantage, but they will have trouble getting out of there. So they have to be careful. Needs smacking. Is pushing on. Takes another hit for it though. Rome gets hit. Needs a smacking, I think went the wrong way. Almost gone now. And that's a disadvantage that you do not want this early in the game, regardless of how many bases you've got. Because that is a gun disadvantage. That is some nice clipping there by the T-57 Heavy. He is almost gone. 13 HP left for Itch. And there he goes. So that's a gun advantage for GRS right now as well, even if Needs Smacking is down on his hit points. Nick and Putt are trying to get them, but they're actually going after Putt here. GRS is pushing back. And they need to make those shots count. Magi losing a lot of its points very quickly, but there goes Pot. Base B is being stolen. Needs a smacking, still alive if barely. He's not going to survive for long. Monmon is on his long reload, is not going to survive either. There goes Monmon. There goes needs a smacking, and they've actually let him cap base B. Rome, not looking too healthy either. They waited for everyone to reload before they went in. 7710 is gone. It is 4 versus 5. Base B is being capped back. There goes Nick. They're leaving the base to go after Doha. In this case, Magi needs to stay alive. The IS-7s are doing fantastic work here. Basically working with all three together. Arrivederci has been taken out though. It is now 3 versus 4. And base A is being stolen. There goes lots of ladders. Doha gets taken out. But 2564 is the only healthy tank left alive. They do have 2 bases. But it's just him now. He does get that. And he has the... Rome goes into base A. And 2564 has to get a base back. And that's going to be tricky because there's 2 guns there. And all they need to do is run around and stay alive. Especially now when they have 3 bases. For however long that is. Shots are fired. And Rome is going to arrive at the back. He is going in. He needs to stay into the base. Because he's not going to be able to outrun them. Oh dear god. I think he's just lost the game like that. And there he goes. He actually dies. And GV has the game there. Very well played by GV though, going after those caps, forcing 25 to go after 1. Well played. One and a half minutes left to go before we go into the second game. And those T-57 heavies are, I think, being rotated out. They did have that clip potential. But at the same time, after that, when they were reloading, they both just got nuked. So we now see 5 IS-7s and 2 LTs for GRS. Versus 3 IS-7s, 2 LTs, a 60 TP and a mouse for GV. One minute left to go before we go into the 4th game of this best of 7. Like, I'm always hoping for tiebreakers, because that is, like, it shows the opponents are evenly matched. It also means that we have more tournament games and less replays in between. So that's always fun as well. Well, at least, like, more tour matches, I mean. Because at the end of the day, we are here for tours. I don't pretend to be a pro at this. I just enjoy doing it, and I'm glad that people enjoy my basically just chattering about it. But I am really here just for the games. I try not to get involved in like the clan drama or stuff like that. I try not to look too much at the clan tag and what's behind that. I just try and enjoy the games and call out what I see that happens. Good and bad. Let's see. And here we go. DLT is heading towards the desert, both sides. Most of GV following there though, but most of GRS doing the same thing. Some blind shots are being fired. The lights have been spotted on both sides. Arrivederci so far remaining unscathed. Monmon as well, getting out of there a little bit if he can. And basically we see the same thing happening on both sides. The lights spotting, then deciding to go back and letting the heavies take over. But Doha taking quite a bit of damage there. And GRS has to be careful not to overextend. Look at the damage just going into Needs smacking there. 7710 not looking all that much better. Doha will be gone. And he is. Base B has been capped. But look at the HP. Just dropping. They're going after Putt. And there he goes. Next in line is Bex. No, the lights are going to chase the lights. Arrivederci. Not long for this world. There he goes. We have Magi facing off with Nick in the base. There goes Bex. That's a 2-gun advantage. Light versus light over here. And those lights are by far the most dangerous tanks. Each now getting focused. The last heavy tank for GRS. Now he's just fired. And that means that Magi can move in and try and get a shot in as well. And mice are always very armored. They are actually now ignoring the mice. Partly. 2564 gets taken out there. But it is still 5 versus 3. The lights are very... well, one of them. Oof. There goes Magi. And there goes Itch. There goes XX. And now we only have Rome left. Who is not going to last long with Needs smacking arriving there. But it's actually lots of letters that takes him out. And GRS has this game. And it's going up even Stevens. And this is the thing, that's something I've noticed with Asia. Throughout the years, this has never changed. It is a lot about the focus fire and who gets those first shots in. Because Asia tends to push quite aggressively while when it's playing. It's sort of like, oh, we have an upper hand here, so let's just push. And you don't always have the upper hand then. So when GRS was pushing, I really wasn't sure that they were going to make it. As in... be the victor for that game. And that's why I like streaming Asia, because it's different. Like if you compare the servers, EU tends to be like very very serious, very tactical and everything. And yes, we have YOLO rushes as well, of course, but it's very different kind of gameplay, and that I always find it really funny to see just the differences. So now, with 42 seconds left to go, we see GRS getting ready with 3 IS-7s, 2 113s, an LT and a 60p for Rockfield. And on the other side we see 3 IS-7s, a Concept 1B, a VK72, an AMX-50B and a LT. So that on its own I find interesting, because the 113s are also tanks that we don't see all that often. And there's reasons for that. They are fairly juicy and can get taken out Sorry. There's a pigeon sitting outside my window and he's staring straight at me. But yeah, we don't see the 113s being used that much anymore. It used to be such a meta tank. And we barely see it these days. And this pigeon is just staring at me. It's freaking me out. I'm gonna see if I can take a picture and I'll share it on Discord later. Because he's just looking at me the whole time. Anyhow, here we go into the 5th match of this best of 7. GRS focusing on the base A side, also going towards base B. Or B-ish. Rome going to spot people. but so far doesn't. Shots are being fired, but no one gets spotted just yet except for Arrivederci. And now Magi has been spotted as well. C is being kept, A will be kept, and B is so far left alone. That is interesting. Look at what Magi is doing. Pushing quite aggressively there, on his own. He does get a hit in, and manages to not take damage in turn. But that is tricky business. Rome gets shot there, Bex loses more HP. Magi is sort of like bait in the trap here. But he has to be careful not to overextend, because there's a lot of guns there. And Magi's now turning around to not be there anymore, which I think is a good call. Arrivederci loses a little bit of HP there. And we have GRS sort of like pushing the corner, but again they need to be careful. They're quite aggressive here. But so far they've bled. Well, now Magi has lost a lot of HP, but that is because he's in a very tricky position. It almost seems like then I'm not quite sure they're on voice. Well, they will have to be at this stage. But Magi losing a lot of HP there. The 113s need to get that DPM in. There goes Magi, there goes Nick. But they need to get the kills in. That is an important not kill shot. VK doesn't do any damage for it though. There goes Bex. Now they're going to focus Doha. HP wise, GV still has the advantage. And that is important to note as well. They are chasing lots of letters. And lots of letters is not going to survive another reload. There goes Doha. They have the gun advantage, but again, GV still has the base advantage. Base A is being stolen, they have to be careful with that as well. And lots of letters. Basically, GRS is steadily losing HP and bases. And now we have Arrivederci moving in. Going to take that shot. But no, he's not falling for it. He does get another hit in. But lots of letters. Oh, he misses! That might be a big thing there. Arrivederci tracking him before Pat is taken out. Points wise though, it is tricky. Lots of letters now going to steal back base A. Lots of low HP targets. And the 113 is not going to survive against the A. Ooh, he does miss though. And now the AMX is reloading, barely alive. Rome is going to take him out though. Fairly certain of that. There we go, but the AMX does still lose points. GV has an advantage when it comes to HP. They have an advantage when it comes to points. Arrivederci not going into the base there, knowing that he needs to make sure that all these shots will land. AMX has reloaded. Rome shoots Arrivederci, but then gets taken out himself. Itch misses that shot, and now we have Arrivederci going to take the base because they really need to. AMX gets taken out. What a game by GRS here. I got stuck against a stupid pull again. 25 gets taken out. They really need to stay alive because it's just XX. They need to be so careful here. And just stay alive. They have 2 bases. All they need to do is survive that a little bit longer. Needs a smacking. Has to not do this. Has to be careful. They're all one-shots. Well, except for Arrivederci. But they're all very low on HP. And they just need to survive this. Honestly, this is... wow. What a game. What a game. And there we go. GRS has this game. That was fantastic. Amazing game. And they were taking risk and I'm like, oh god. But they still managed it. And now GRS is up for match points. Again though, it doesn't mean that whoever loses this matchup isn't out yet. Because it is double elimination. So they can still work their way back up. But wow. These games are just... I love them. We are getting ready for the second game on Rockfield. And now we have GV ready with 3 i7s, a Concept 1B, 160p, an AMX 50B, and a LT. And on the other side... Oh, now we have... Instead of a 60p, there's now a VK72. GRS still seems undecided as what to take. The only thing we know is that Arrivederci has an LT. And yes, Zero just said in the chat, gun advantage tops HP. And that is very true, but at the same time it also means you can very quickly lose the gun advantage. And there we go. They are taking 2 i7s, 1 Yo, and 4 LTs. That is going to be interesting as well. God. This could well be like a Wolfpack movement. But we will have to wait and see what they do with them. Pigeon is gone, by the way. There's now a crow looking at me, but that's normal. He's always doing that. I've got like 3 crows that I feed. And basically they just always sit there and just look at me. But the pigeon was weird. I like feeding the birds. I've also got like the little birds and sparrows and blackbirds and stuff. It's cute. So the wolfpack from GRS is all moving towards base C. Spotting people. Not yet getting spotted. But now just waiting there. No, oof. Mon has been spotted. Has to be careful. Base A is being taken. Base C as well. Shots are being fired. They pretty much have the base at exactly the same time. And now basically... Well, I wouldn't call this a Mexican standoff because they're not actually gunning each other down. Magi again in a tricky position, losing a bit of HP there. 25-64. Might be in trouble too. We have most of the wolf pack heading back towards their spawn. 25 calling for help now as well. And they are careful. As long as they're not spotted. XX gets spotted there. And now we have the wolf pack there in full. Needs the smacking has been spotted. Magi loses some more HP. Base B is now being capped. And GRS is moving in. Going after Nick. And Nick is going after needs the smacking. Base B is being taken. Base C is still being protected and decapped. Oof, Nick just got absolutely obliterated there. And 25 is deciding not to get the base. Taking a hit there as well. They might be going after Doha. No, the wolfpack is going after Putt though. Oh, takes a big hit there. But Putt is almost gone. Gets taken out. Base B and base A. Well, base A is not being capped. We have 7-7 who's taken out. Needs smacking, gets set on fire. Mon is gone. 7710 survives a split second longer, but base C is captured now. Gun-wise it's going up fairly evenly, but GV again has the HP advantage. And that shot not panning might be very expensive later. There goes Doha. They have to be more careful. It is 4 versus 4, but again, HP-wise, there's a good advantage for GV. And they have 2 bases, so that's also going to be an issue. Lots of ladders losing HP there. Arrivederci crossing over. We are at 825 points. This is interesting because Rome is right there and they do not know. He's getting hit hard. Arrivederci is not going to win this fight. Gets tracked even. There goes Magi. And there we go. With the death of Arrivederci, GV has the game. And again, it's still going up even Stevens. So we get a tiebreaker, and like I said, I'm always a fan of that. I think that's also one of the reasons that I don't consider myself pro at this. Because the more tour matches I get, the more I like it. Because the thing is that, for me, tour matches are the epitome of basically good gameplay. And it's the full potential of the game. If you have 7 players on voice together that are choosing their tanks together, tactics together, and all of that, then you get a tour battle. And you don't get that in pubs. So for me, this is, like I said, the full potential of the game. One minute left before we go into the tiebreaker map on New Bay. GRS now ready with 4 IS-7s, 2 LTs and a 60 DP. And on the other side, we see GV taking out 2 mice, 2 IS-7s, potentially 2 60 DPs in the concept bomb B, but depends on what they're ready up in, but there we go. $30 left to go. But again, no real pressure just yet, because they're still the lower brackets, so anyone that gets taken out here is not taken out completely yet. So let's see, here we go with the countdown clock. I'm going to post a picture of the stalker pigeon, by the way, on my server. Here we go. And but that's the thing though, if you're through here, you know you will get at least 2nd place. GRS heading towards the base B area. Sending Arrivederci down or to the ramp to have a look at who's there. And he might meet quite a few people there, so he has to be careful. They're all going downtown though. Base A is being capped, which makes sense. GRS going very aggressively here. Losing as much as they take, and there's a lot more HP on GV's side. You have to remember that as well. Noob H turning around, expecting this. And GRS is now really spread out. They're a little bit everywhere. Big hits everywhere. Needs a smacking, is getting a smacking. Shots are happening. Lots of ladders is putting back, but he might not make it. And they're just... they are very spread out. Lots of ladders gets taken out first, but he had nowhere to go on that ramp. And they're actually getting in each other's way as well, which is not helping matters. That shot not panning is also pretty important, but there we go. Both teams have lost the gun, but there's like a 4k advantage. Magi is not going to survive this. He does get another shot in, but he's just going to get pushed here. And he is being left alone. He might get another shot in, but that's going to be it. That bounced though. Putt is taken out. Magi is still there, if barely. XX has been taken out. And again, Magi manages to survive another reload. Shots are happening. There's a big gun advantage there. I'm going to see. Is he still... No, he does not get that shot in. But there he goes. He finally goes, but it took like a long time. There goes Nick. They need to be careful. Nick's smacking is not looking too healthy. There goes Nick's smacking. There goes Itch. There goes 7. It's basically 3 versus 2. That shot not panning. They have to be careful with backs though, at the back there. Big hit. But there goes Doha. And now it's just backs. They have the base, they don't need to be taking risks there. $25.64 is probably not going to survive this, but that should give Biden enough time, because he's not going to reload long enough. And GRS will be through to the grand finals, with GV heading towards the lower bracket. Almost ahead for Arrivederci there. Very good games overall though. Again, this was one of those pushes where I'm like, I'm not sure that this is going to work out. But in the end it did. I think a lot of that also depends on Magi, man of the match for me, for surviving those bounces on that little HP for that long. Well played, very well played. So let's have a look. How long do we have left? Because Risk is up in just under half an hour. So I've got some replays, of course, to show for you, because I am filling the time with that, because I can't play PC to save my life, and you would not want me to show you that. I see, basically with a 3 minutes delay, I see your reactions in the chat to the same thing that I was feeling. I did not know Abraham Lincoln was actually playing this game, but apparently he likes Chinese TDs. Basically, GRS being that far spread out as they were, I'm very surprised that it worked for them. Let's have a look. That was an exciting matchup though. I think that's been the most intense. And it's been like, it's random. Asia is always just different. And I love the slow and tactical gameplay that we see on EU and everything. But then you get this and it's just so funny. And funny in the good way, not in the laughable way. But just like, it's such different gameplay and it's just fun to watch. Oh, big hit there. Does he not realise he's spotted now? Let's see. This is again one of those tanks I don't play that often. Because I'm just not... This is so funny. I don't like TDs much anymore, but when I first started playing the game, I played TDs exclusively. Like my first 4 lines were all TDs. After that is when I started joining different, playing different things. Let's see. Nice juicy bossy there. You can't shoot them from there. Thing is, you leave a tank to take out a tank. In this case, they're trying to take out Magi. And there was no reason to assume that he would bounce that many shots. But yeah, there was... It was different. I'm not sure what he wants people to be reported for. Let's see. That's a miss as well. It is 2 versus 2. This is the thing. I can't play TDs like this. This is also a reason why I do no longer like TDs. Because I'm just enjoying being forwards way more than waiting. But that's nice of him. Why are people just always crying about reporting? Let's see if he can. Basically, if they cap both bases, then then he's in trouble. Nice shot. People like him need to get reported via ticket. And then basically they will be yeeted for a time. Mutsu just said it really well. Asia tournaments are just coordinated random battles most of the time, and I think that might be the case, honestly. Again, that's not taking away from the teams. They're just very different kind of gameplay that you see here. And it's interesting to see, for sure. I can't believe the shark just missed him. That didn't even bounce, he just missed. He should have him though. As long as he aims properly. Okay. But still a victory. That's weird though. That should have been a draw. Probably because of the points, maybe? I don't know. What a game. Let's see, what else have I got for you? Let's have a look at this. No idea what kind of replay this is. Thing is, I never watch my replays beforehand. And I do that with reason because I want my reactions to be genuine. Let's see. He missed quite a bit of the battle there. Just loaded in really late. This is another tank that I don't give nearly as much love as it deserves. Because it is a fun tank. I just prefer playing mobile things with turrets. I did get spotted there. Oof. That 140 is in a pretty precarious position. Especially versus that many tanks. The thing is, you always have to be careful with the red line because you don't move as smoothly as you would otherwise. Yo wants to get help. There's the T-57 Heavy. Oh, that missed. But yeah, if you are from Asia server, you want to get rewards, you have to watch through the portal. Make sure that you are logged in. Make sure that you've accepted your cookies. And yeah, then just sit back and relax and watch. Ooh, my YouTube chat just jerked. I lost all the chat. Just showed the names. They kind of had to decide to push one way or the other. I'm always surprised that people take a speed boost, to be honest. The thing is that speed boost is not really effective with most tanks. And yes, it can help, but I'd rather have 2 repair kits. Because getting tracked in a GD is a lot more of a problem than going a little bit slow. It's got a nice corpse to work with there though, and now the E100 fired, which is also helpful, and that's going to be the end of the E100. There we go. Let's see. Oh, nice one. And now it's just the Death Star and the E5. Wow. That's a no. Wow, this dude though. And people wonder what is wrong with this game. It's not the potatoes. It is people like that. That is disgusting. Wow. Why are they all so toxic? It's a game. Honestly. That wouldn't have helped. Yo, reloading. Oof. There we go. Casual 5.4k damage, 6 kills. Ori is like one of those things, it's not bad. It can hold its own, can be quite fun. Just overall, I don't drive it much. Because I just don't enjoy it that much. But that's more to do with my own playstyle than anything else. Let's see. Let's have a look. What else have I got for you? I think this is a Mac Games game, not sure. The pigeon is back! And he's sitting in the exact same spot, giving me the same creepy look. Oh my god. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is Mac Games, but should be fun. I always find it funny how when the tour first starts, I'm always like really nervous and preparing for a long time in front, and as the matches go on, get more relaxed into it and not necessarily do less. But I just like worry less, I don't know. Oof. Let's see. That speed boost can be so OP with just like shooting and then retreating. Oh god. Now we have a Yo over there. Blood Shall Be Spilled used to be a recruit of ours. So they know one another. There we go, now he's low on HP, but it is 4 versus 3, so he has to be careful. And he does have the whole quick reload to go through. Nice little bounce there. There we go. Oh god, smoke alarm is going off. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to mute my microphone for a little bit. Okay, sorry about that. I'm like half deaf now. There's absolutely no fire. Just like really loud smoking alarms. And I've actually tore the battery out of mine. Because we have like 8 now. Like every studio has 2 here. Oh, that's the feed thing. I was gonna say there's no invite yet. God, my ears are ringing so bad now. Whew. But yeah, nothing going on. Don't smell anything. But yeah, we have a few minutes left. I'm not going to show you another replay because the invite should be up in a few minutes. Just sending my neighbors a quick message just to basically let them know that this is going on. Just hang on, just gonna have a quick check in the hallway. Again, I'll be right back. Because this is the thing, like we have this, in the studios that I live in, there's like 2 smoke detectors per studio. There's been no smoke, no smell of fire. And we had a check this week. And last year we had a check like this, and then afterwards the smoke alarms kept going off. God, my ears. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I can't actually show you the event news. It's just I hate the notification. I want to keep track of the actual tour notifications. But yeah. Hope it doesn't do this again, because that would be disastrous. Because like it won't do that this stream, but last year when they did the checks, oh, there's a room invite. Last year when they did checks, they actually had like it went well for a few days, and then it went off, and then it went off twice a day, and then it went off 3 times a day. There was absolutely no reason for it. But yeah, they might need to come back for like this, the extra check. That they had the same thing last year. It's ridiculous. Whew. But yeah. Anyhow, we are getting ready for GV versus Risk. Yesterday we saw the same thing, and then GV won. But now there's more pressure, because whoever loses this matchup is out of the tournament. Someone just asked if I'm dead. No, not quite. 3 minutes delayed, then you hear my reaction, but yeah. Basically just wanted to check just now whether or not the other ones were still going. But yeah, I need to send my landlord a message after this. Because still, I don't know what was going on, and I think they never figured it out, but probably made the same mistake this year that they did last year, somehow. Pigeon is still there, still staring. It's now also like grooming itself, okay? Pigeon is live entertainment. But yeah, anyway, the real pressure is on just now, because we have the top 3. And basically we know that GRS is through to the grand finals. GV and Risk still have to fight to see who's going to join them. And whoever loses this matchup is out. It is a best of 7. We are starting it off on Hellas. Hell is, of course, one of the smaller maps. I do not particularly like it, because it is very open, lots of crossfire lines, and like in pubs I don't mind it that much, but when you actually have to deal with it in tours, it's different. I also remember like we had the back in the day when the map first came, we had like a lawnmower bug on the free camera. Basically, you could free cam, but you couldn't actually go up, so you would just like race across on the ground, so to speak. But yeah, the thing is, like, this house, it is pretty good when it comes to the checkups and everything. Like, every year they check the smoke alarms, they check like the fire extinguishers, the cattle always gets a check. It's stuff like that. It's nice. It's very small and it's very expensive, but it's nice. So I'm kind of like fearing that if the same thing happens today as, well, as happened last year, it means that the smoke alarm is going to go off a lot more often. So I think I'm going to leave the batteries out of it for now. And just wait and see, because I will hear it if the other ones go off. Anyhow, story. I'm going to try to get Pyatt back into the game quite literally. We have GV ready with 4 IS-7s, 2 LTs and a 60TP. And they're going to go up against 3 60TPs, 1 IS-7, a Yo and 2 LTs. And like I said, the pressure is on now. I have to remember that there's also a psychological factor. Risk had their last game yesterday, so they're going in a little bit cold, so to speak, but at the same time, GV comes in warm from another matchup, but they lost that matchup, so there's also that psychological factor. And you have to, after a loss, you have to get your hack back into the game as well there, to be able to basically see it as a new match. It is a new match, but the feelings from the first matchup, you can't take them with you into the second game. And here we go. Countdown clock beginning. And we are getting ready for the first game of the second matchup of the evening. The lower bracket finals, which will determine who's going to go up against GRS in the grand finals tomorrow. Let's see. And here we go. We have a renamed user on the other side. A little bit of spotting going on in the middle here. Silver and XX are going to spot each other right up close. But neither actually gets hit. A and B are being kept from both sides. But GV has a lot of forces around base C. And we have actually Rome still there. B has not been kept. They are going to get base C. But Dragon King might be able to get base B very cheaply here. Nick loses a little bit of HP there. Dragon King does not get hit for that. Takes the base and then pulls back. But has been spotted, takes a hit for it. And we now have Risk dug in around base A and B. Leaving it up to GV to push somewhere. Dragon King has to be careful there. Nick takes a bit of a hit. And a bit more. Shots are being fired. Pot wants to attack. Dragon King and Itch spot one another. And they're not really pushing, but it looks like GV is going to steal back base B. And they can't really let that happen, but at the same time they've got no one there to decap it. So they don't really have a choice. And as such, Risk is now racing towards base C. And might get that for free, because now GV has basically hightailed it out of there. Sugu going into the base, still unspotted. But being pretty forwards there. But Risk is nicely dug in. Sugu takes a hit there though. Silver losing quite a bit of HP, but they need that base and they need it back. He manages to not get hit for it. They do cap the base. And we have sort of like an exchange going on. Big hit into XX there. Rome is going back to cap the base. They can't really let him do that. Trapple losing quite a bit of HP. They are basically rushing on the other side. Going after Putt here. And they need to take him out. He is out. Then Nomads is the next in line. Silver has been ammo racked there. Did not have all that much HP left. But did get ammo racked. Base C is being stolen back. There goes Trapple. James takes out Nomads. Base A is being contested. They are not going to have any bases left. XX has been taken out. They need to get basically these players out of the game. They want to keep the Yo safe. He does take another hit, and he does get taken out. They are losing a lot of guns. It is 3 versus 3. And basically, there is an advantage for them. Base C is being stolen, and they need that. Dragon King wanting to get out of here alive, but he's not going to avoid getting shot at least once more. C has been capped. Juicy is being set upon. Big hit into Renamed there. Dragon King going down. Not sure if they really wanted that to happen. But they have to be careful. He has basically... Itch does get that kill, which is very important. C is being contested. 980 points. GV has this based on the fact that there's one cap that is left alone. It was very, very close. And this honestly should have been Risk's game. Very clever gameplay overall. Very well played by GV. Basically standing in the base there made all the difference. And that's gotta feel good. After coming from a loss versus GRS, starting the next matchup like this. So now we have GV ready with 4 IS-7s, 2 LTs and a 60TP versus 3 60TPs, 2 LTs, an IS-7 and a Concept 1B. 1 minute left to go before we go into the second game of this matchup I should say. It is a best of 7, which means that the first team to reach 4 victories is through to the grand finals. And whoever loses is out of the tournament as a whole. 50 seconds left to go. Hellas, again, I don't really like this map. Like in normal battles it's fine and I can work it, but for tours, not so much. Let's see. 30 seconds left to go. Pigeon is back. That's gonna be my meme for this for today. He's literally not looking at me now though. He's looking the other way. Weird thing. 15 seconds left to go. And here we go with the countdown clock. Thing is, I love supremacy matches like that, where it's all about the bases and just running around and getting those caps back and all of that. That's why GV's gameplay here was very clever. Keeping the targets alive that needed to stay alive just to avoid the points going up, getting the necessary kills. It's very clever. And let's have a look for the second game, how that's going to go. Thing is, you can't dig your way, you can't dig yourself in the same way on base B that you can on base A. But going for the cap here, most of Risk heading towards the base C area. Silver and XX still spotting each other. Neither of them getting damage for it though. But most of GV is focusing on the C side. And that's going to be... we might get like an early-ish brawl. Renamed has been spotted. As has James. So they're in a bit of a precarious position there. Probably going to be like, can't really get out from here. Let's see. Renamed holding here. Base B now being stolen. Putt being very careless here, having no support whatsoever. But Risk seems to be unaware of that. We have GV pushing on the other side, Putt basically forcing a reaction. Renamed is there. Nick loses quite a bit of HP, but Renamed is not going to survive this. Juicy, not looking too healthy either. HP is just vanishing all around. Putt is almost gone. But that is taking 2 tanks out for Risk. And that is exactly what GV wants. Big hits into Nick there. HP is just dropping a lot. There goes Renamed. There goes James. That is the gun advantage back for GV. Base A is being capped. But they are missing that gun dearly. Dragon King is the preferred target, as is Trapple. Basically they're just cleaning up house now. Because now there's only 3 people left. 2 of which are very fast light tanks that might be able to outrun them. But at 830 points they would need to get base C as well. And that's just not going to happen. Silver going after Nick there. Not getting him with 1 shot. Sugu is taken out. There goes Nick. Bex next in line. He does take him. But still, they would need to get base C, and that's not happening. Silver getting stuck there. Is not going to survive. And now it's just Juicy, who's a 1-shot for anyone and everyone. And the second game is for GV as well. Basically, just to reiterate, if you want to get rewards, you need to make sure that you are watching through the portal, that you are logged in, and that you've got your cookies enabled. One minute and 20 seconds left to go before we go into the third match of this matchup. GV pretty dominant so far. Let's see. GV getting ready with 3 IS-7s, 2 LTs and 2 60TBs. We are moving on to Canal, so a very different map. And on the other side we see 4 LTs, 1 60TB, 1 IS-7 and a Concept 1B, assuming they ready up as they are, but no. Dragon King now taking IS-7 instead of a 60TB. More troll armor, less big gun. And H hasn't readied up yet. "30 seconds left to go." Oh, he's back into the 60 GP. Canal is, I think, my favorite map, like, for tours, that is. It always leads to interesting gameplay. There used to be a time where it was very stalemate because they would just lock it down from the north spawn. But it is a very big map and it makes for interesting gameplay. What? God. You can't do that to me, game. It's just like, where's my match? I did ready up, didn't I? That's like the thought that's always going through my head right then. But wants everyone to go A. Let's see. Base D is being neglected. They're going for C and B. And of course A and D will get caps as well. James not actually taking that cap. Not sure why. Because that's a disadvantage that you don't really want. But losing a little bit more HP there. But GV will have a cap advantage here. And now James is capping because he kind of has to. But he could have done that earlier. Blind shots happening. He's not spotted yet though. Nicely done with the blind shots, but he's managed to cap it. But still, GV has a point advantage. That means that it will be up to Risk to make a push at some point somewhere and either take out a gun or get a base or stand in it long enough to get the advantage back. Shots are being fired into the general camping spots. But the only one that's taken damage so far is Putt. Itch has been spotted. Oh, that was almost a pen there. Sugu being in a precarious position there. They know that there's someone there, they just don't know where he is. And you can see all the traces. I hope that comes across on stream. Now we have Chapel going around. Dragon King has been spotted. I'm not sure from where. It has to be Nick there, I think. Cheeky little shot there. Suga has now been spotted there though, so he has to be careful. They are trying to shoot backs. But they can't really see him. Sugu taking a little bit of damage now. And you have to remember also that with the LTs, if they shoot you, you stay spotted for 20 seconds rather than 10. So that makes a lot of difference as well. Trapple being very forwards here. Has to be careful, because he is a light tank and there's a lot of firepower behind. And now we have renamed, has been spotted, has been shot. So will remain spotted for quite a long time. And James. They just need to stand in that base B for a while. They don't need to actually cap it. He does take hits for it. He is losing a lot of HP for it. He might lose his life for it. And the lights are moving in, but they're not actually helping at base B. They're going for nomads. Sugu losing a lot of HP here. Base C is being stolen, but so is base B. Base A is being capped. Sugu gets taken out first. And Risk is moving in very late here. There goes James. They're not focus firing. They're not shooting the same targets. That is Risk's problem here. The focus fire is just not there. Nomads, not looking too healthy either. He does get taken out. We were 940 points with 3 bases for GV. GV will have this battle. And in this case, it's not so much GV playing well, but more Risk not bringing it. The lack of focus fire here. Just literally shooting different targets, not helping one another. That is what cost them the game here. And GV has another game. And now they're up for potential match points. And that's like, oh, that can be frustrating to watch, because I think that if the Lights had Wolfpack together with the Heavyset base B, it might have been entirely different, but because they were just splitting up and shooting different targets, that definitely didn't work out. And now GV is up for match point. If they win the next one, then they are through to the grand finals, and Risk will be out of the tournament. Risk now ready with 3 LTs, 2 IS-7s, a 60 TP and an AMX 50B. And on the other side we see 3 IS-7s, 2 LTs, a 60 TP and an AMX 50B. This is going to be interesting because these are near mirror lineups. 1 IS-7 more for GV versus 1 light more for Risk. Let's see. And the pressure is really on Risk now. They need to win every single game from here on out in order to go through to the grand finals. If they lose even one, then they're out. And GV's gotta feel pretty confident right now, because this is going very much in their favor. "20 seconds left. And it's like, it's all about that focus fire, they're all about the teamwork. Risk needs to bring it. They made it this far, they can do it. Let's see. Here we go, potentially the last match of the evening. And here we go. Let's have a look. Putt wants to go D. Makes me think that some of them are muted. We have XX and Rome heading towards base D. In this case, we see basically a mirror movement of what happened last game. Base A and D being capped. But they've started capturing C a lot earlier, and that is going to give GV that advantage again in the beginning already. Base A is being kept, blind shots are being taken. GV has a bit of a point advantage, all they need to do is dig down and just wait. And it will be up to Risk to do something about it. Putt has been spotted. Blind shots are happening. Putt is there to spot. He does get spotted. And again, blind shots are happening. No damage has been done yet. And GV is in a very comfortable position here. All they need to do is wait. They've got people to keep track of all the routes that can be taken in order to surprise them. And they've got guns behind there to support them. So now, all we can do is just wait and watch. I'm just basically circling around, showing you the battlefield, even though not much is happening right now. Shots are being taken to get cover out of the way. But yeah, it will be up to Risk to do something, and that's going to make things difficult. Now, Dragon and Putt have spotted one another. And Dragon and Putt remain full health. Now Dragon has taken some damage, but is not shooting back yet. Dragon, I think, is needlessly risking things here. GV has the point advantage. They have an HP advantage of about 1k, which is like only a few shots, but still. Let's see. Now we have Risk pushing on both sides, but only with 2 tanks over here. James losing a lot of HP very quickly there. And it seems a bit uncoordinated. They are going after Nick on the other side. But we have Dragon King and James not looking all too healthy here. They are being chased. We have the lights moving in. The Wolfpack on the other side making a move. Renamed not getting that shot in. Big hits into Sugi there. There goes XX. Base D is being kept right now. They are going after Itch. James not looking too healthy either. Still. Look at all the GV in the red spawn there. Itch is going to get taken out. And Risk might actually have this game. With that kill, 3 bases now. And there we go, with the kill of Nick. They take home their first game versus GV. Very well played by Risk here. And that's the thing, I thought, again, this was one of those things that it didn't look to be going to be working with James pushing into the corner like that, losing that much HP that quickly. But it was sort of like a bait move in a way. I'm not sure if draws are a thing much in Supremacy. It's very hard to get a draw in Supremacy. Most of the time it's just the points that win you the game then, and one team generally always has more points than the other one. But this was a good move. I find it funny that someone just said, like, that I'm definitely a Risk fangirl. No, I'm not. I'm not a fangirl of either of these clans. But I'm hoping for more matches, and I know that Risk needs to bring it in order for us to get more matches. GV is very comfortable with a 3-1 advantage still. They don't need to take that much risk. They can play it patiently and carefully. So it will be up to Risk to bring it. "17 seconds left to go. GV now ready with 4 IS-7s, 2 LTs and a 60p. Versus 3 LTs, 2 IS-7s and 2 60ps. Let's see. That's a lot of IS-7s though. Interesting to see what you guys say when you see what happens with the push and all. Putt wants to go base A. Risk also heading towards the desert. Silver gets spotted but remains unscathed. People are getting spotted crossing over. Lines of fire are there. Renamed, taking a bit of a hit there. But he's the only one so far. The bases seem Silver going over the ridge there, but not actually going into the base. Just there to spot. They know where most of the people are now. But the bases are not capped yet. James is taking a little bit of a hit, but not much. And again, GV has like a 1k advantage. Nick pushing in. Not entirely though. H has taken a nice position at the plane, which can work out really, really well there. And Nick managed to get a very cheeky shot in. We have the lights from GV on the train tracks. And we have the lights from Risk now activating their speed boost. GV is pushing. The lights might not make it there in time. From Risk, that is. Oof, big hits into Nomads. Renamed is the preferred target for GV. And it seems that there's some discrepancy as to... Well, now Nomads is being shot, but who is the preferred target for Risk? Suga is arriving. Takes out Renamed. Nomads is taken out as well. Dragon King, now the preferred target. Juicy, not looking too healthy. The lights are running around. Nick has been taken out. Juicy, putting back as far as he can. Managed to get away with it so far. GV actually... Now the gun advantage is back to where it was before. GV still has a big HP advantage. And we have the lights now moving in. Base A is almost capped. And the Wolfpack is now moving in. They have to be very careful. That shot from Juicy not penning might make all the difference. Dragon King gets taken out. Pot should be able to take out Juicy here. Not sure why he's ignoring him. But oh yeah, there he goes still. XX is taken out. It's 4 versus 3. Double HP advantage for GV. Silver is a one-shot. Managed to survive another reload. It is just the lights. 3 versus 3 now. But there's some very healthy tanks for GV. And 2 one-shots. That was a shot in the sky. Itch is giving chase. Sugu hoping to survive but does not. And GV will make it through. Because there goes Silver. Trapple is the last one left alive. And there's just no way that he can win this. Too much guns. He manages to run a little bit longer. But there he goes. And GV is through to the grand finals. Very well played overall. In this case, I think it's actually the lights flanking around. As soon as they were spotted, GV was moving. They were pushing at the plane. The lights were pushing in. And it just took too long for them to get together. And again, the focus fire is not there for Risk. So, very well played by GV. Commiserations to Risk because they are now out of the tournament. Whereas GV, we will see them tomorrow back in the grand finals versus GRS. Let's see, because that's... Yeah. I still have like half an hour to go for rewards on the portal, so I will be streaming you some replays and all. Let's see, what have I got for you? I've got a shark replay. Again, I'm not sure what it... Well, I know what the shark is like, but not what the replay is like. That has to be a countdown event. Pretty sure. That's a lot of pink. Let's see. Also, just For the record, countdown events are perfectly legal. And the reason that I want to state this is because you see all those guys from Pink and everything in the list. But that is perfectly allowed as long as people murder each other like normal, because that's the only issue. God, this chat though. Let's see. Generally games like this either go really well or really, really badly. Oh, that's forwards. Oof. Activating adrenaline here. But not really having any targets. There we go. It's just basically a lot of hold down, focus fire, rushing. Shark, that being said though, is a fantastic tank. Absolutely love it. Sort of like a tier 8 E5. It's one of my favorite tanks in the game. Like, the thing is that I used to love the E5 when it still had the cupola, because it made for a very unique playstyle that was required in order to do well in it. But since they removed the cupola, it's just not as much fun. That being said though, it is still tier 10, so it's kind of like you have to die hard in order to play it, because tier 10 is always more difficult than other tiers. So that's why I prefer the Shark. Mainly because, like, I don't want to die hard game, I just like to casually enjoy the game. I'm curious to see what's going to happen tomorrow though, because we saw GRS versus GV earlier, and that was very, very close. They've lost the base. Both teams have lost a gun. It's pretty stalemate right now. Because they're so, like, locked down right now. The Emils are in trouble. One of them is reloading. Neither of them has much health. There goes Madnik. There goes Extreme. There's still a base behind, mind you. And we're sort of like treating this like a tour battle, because even though this will be just for fun, this is fairly serious when you realize that there's so many players that know each other and everything. And you can bet that they are calling targets and everything. I'm not sure what Sam is doing here, driving over rocks and all. Two versus two. They have two bases now, but there's 840 points. Yeah, they know they need the caps. Oof, that was needed. And so they turn it around. Cheeky game though. Oh, I think they might have been in the training room since there's no badge for that. Still a good game though. Let's see, we've got about 20 minutes left for replays and all. Let's show you another TD one. Oof, that's a lot of 183s. Exactly, Yunt. Yunt just said, I like the E6 just because of that big King Cupola. That's exactly why I love the E6, because it's like the T95 E6 tier 10 tank, which is basically the E5 before they ruined it. He's really hoping someone will peek out behind that building. So far no one is though. Oh, I wouldn't risk it. Oh, that'll do. Oh, poor guy. He just got yeeted. He's just trying to bait the shot, but he's still getting shot. Nicely done. He's having a pretty good game so far, though. Oh, and that miss. You've got all the help you can get behind you. That's another reason why I probably can't play this tank all that much. I'm not patient enough. They're really getting in each other's way over there. Oh, nice. It's got a nice building there, though. Yege now looking towards them. He's just fired, though. Casual 4.4k damage so far. Nice. Well done. Let's see. Four v4. Oh, beautiful. 5 versus 3. Casual 6.5k so far. And now there's only the Yege left. In this case, I would honestly just rush it just to get more damage. He's got the HP. Oh, nice. Very patient gameplay this. Very nicely done. Beautiful. think the best shot was the shot on the 1A3. Like, they were both aiming at one each other, but he just fired earlier and it panned beautifully. Oof, his teammate didn't get a shot in. Let's see, got a few games. A little bit left to go. Don't think I've shown this one yet. Let's have a look. I might have, honestly. Thing is, I get so many replays and I don't actually like number them or anything. So sometimes I forget, but we'll see. The donut map. So I was just saying the other day that the buildings are actually like real life buildings and everything. I do like it when they base maps on stuff like that. Still wonder if there's any Easter eggs on Molendijk. Because the reason that I think about this, I think there's like 5 Easter eggs on this map. Let's see. I would have honestly broken the wall. Why you have to be mean? Knerven getting absolutely murdered though. That's a container. Like, any part of your armor can get penned. The pro of a cupola is the fact that you can troll with it. If you wiggle your head, they're much more likely to bounce, but they're also much more likely to miss. And that's a very big advantage. That is honestly why I always loved the old E4. Just the capability of making people miss or bounce on that thing. Got like really old videos on my channel somewhere. With my saying things like, I think the E5 is my soulmate. Because that was literally the tank that I loved the most. Still the tank that I have the most battles in. And I've barely played it since, actually, since they removed the cupola. It was the first tank that I was comfortable in soloing. They are going to lose some points this way. It's always funny if people that say like, why not help? It's not like they're just sitting there eating out of their noses or something. Still going to be tough though. Especially since the AMX is not known to have the most armor. He is in a pretty good position. But his teammate is not going to live for long, yeah. Oof. Just not aimed enough. The E5 was the first heavy that I had. Nice. It's not done all that much damage yet. He really needs the skill and he needs to... There we go. Kept the base. He's got the tungsten shell. Leaving the base. He has to be careful because he cannot survive another shot. Oh! He missed! And that is going to be the victory. There we go. Wow. Okay. The damage counter on the left is only in replays. You cannot get it like in normal battles. In normal battles you can activate your ribbons. Also, just for the record, like I said, I will stream for the amount of time that the things will be active on the portal and everything. You have to keep in mind that the portal is out of my hands. Once the time is stopped there, there's nothing I can do about it. I could stream for as long as I like, but you wouldn't get any more rewards for it. Let's see, what else have I got? Honestly, not sure what I have or haven't shown. So you might see a game that you've already seen now. M46 pattern, tier 9. One of my least favorite lines. Not so much because the line is bad, it's just dull. They're not that good, they're not that fun. Well, in games you do have the ribbons kind of thing, like you see the damage going up and everything. I do find those ribbons very useful to keep track of what about you've done. But it doesn't count blind shots and stuff like that, so there's something to keep in mind as well. Overall though, the matches today were just really good fun. And even though GV didn't win the first matchup, they definitely very deservedly won the second one. Nice. It is a tricky spot to be in though. This is the thing though, when you start making salty comments, you can't really be salty about someone making salty comments. It is encounter, the meta side is pretty much uncovered. Well, oof, there goes the grill. Waffle is holding in the same position as before. This is the thing, I can't do this. I can't just wait and hope for someone else to do something. CDI7 has some help here, but he has to be careful. He's not going to survive for much longer, I think. Altino getting shot. I said it's probably not going to survive this reload. There he goes. If you want to send a replay, I've got a channel for it on my Discord. Note though that I only have 2 streams left after this, so there's no telling if I will be able to show it, but yeah. I have a dedicated channel on my server for it. Oh, big hit there by the waffle. That's the thing though with this tank, like it's very HEable, it's very not durable. Also know that I hand out all my rules personally, so, well, right now I'm just showing replay, so I'm gonna give rules anyway. But normally you would have to wait until after the stream before you get it. They're actually getting in each other's way here. There we go. 2v2. Nice little bit of fire, that helps. Oh, 3 versus 2. Forgot about the E100. Nice, well done. That's a well. It was a bit of a campy game, but it was a good game considering the tank that he's in. I would never play ratings in this tank. I wouldn't be comfortable enough. Okay, I'm going to show you one more replay, and then basically the timers will have stopped, and then I will end the stream. Let's see, what else have I got for you? I'm not sure if I showed this one, but we're about to find out. At 10 past, the counters will stop. So there's basically... I can continue all I want, but you won't be able to get rewards anymore. Black Prince. Pretty OP tank, pretty true armor. Can do fantastic things. Rate of fire is insane. But yeah, I still prefer the Smasher. And the Annie. I prefer the Annie over the Smasher. And the Smasher over the Black Prince. Yeah, tonight I will not be streaming EU. That will be N90. I wish I could show you this, but I think his head will be back to normal before then. No, I think I got it. It's, Stalker Pigeon. It's like giving me the really creepy eye, just stretching his neck sideways and everything. But yeah, I will not be streaming EU tonight. That will be Fujit will be streaming and N9000. So definitely be sure to check them out. As per usual, you can get Tog. Tog is love, Tog is life. But you can get rewards if you're from the EU server then. I will be back tomorrow though to stream both Asia and the Grand Finals for the EU server. So that should be fun. Let's see. Yusuf has to be a bit careful here. Not sure if that actually hit anything, but it might have. Can't believe someone would damage Tog like that. And oh, field HE there. Let's see. There's too many tanks dying. They have a bit of a problem here. There you go. There goes the KV2. KV2 is one of those tanks that I drive it with what they call the wrong gun. Because I do not like it with the derp gun. Oof. Only 3 people left on his team. Don't know where the talk went. That is a potential issue. Basically, first class is fine too. You can decide whether or not it's epic enough to show on stream. If it's just a camping game, then no. Getting a bit distracted there by passing tanks. Oof. That did not go as expected. Still don't know where the talk went. Nice, that was very needed. Oh, that bounced though. That's not good. And that was very needed as well. But where did the talk go? It's the same for the Su-152. I do not prefer. I do not like it with the derp gun. I prefer to drive it with the other one. He's being very cheeky now. Might work out in his favor though. I have to keep in mind that this is an encounter match, not supremacy. That probably is the talk. I was just gonna say I would go on the other side because they're not expecting you from that side. I would even go over to one more ramp further. But where is the talk? Talk fired. Talk shot the sky there. And the ground there. We know where the talk is. Or whereabouts the talk is. Talk is still where he was camping before. Okay, portal stream is over, that's good. So this will be the last replay that you see. Let's see. Let's see if he can get the talk. He can take one shot from the talk, but he'd have to be able to kill the talk. Very proper. With one shot. He did hit it though, because we saw in the ribbon. There you go. Tog is dead. Long live the Tog. EU starts at 8 PM CEST. So that is in just under 5 hours. Intense little game this. Well played. So yeah, like I said, I will be back for you tomorrow with the Asia Grand Finals followed by the European Grand Finals. But for now, that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Goodbye!